Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, I'm a little late. I heard the wife pull up and wanted to see if she needed help with groceries, but I guess they only had a couple bags. So let's go ahead and get started. Merry Christmas, Tattoo.
It's Christmas time when all the lights are coming on at night. A scarf for everywhere we go. We're leaving
What's up, Derek?
in the snow. Drive beside the fire's glow. Awaiting Santa's
Patricia,
ho,
Merry
ho,
Christmas.
ho.
Francis,
Christmas time
Dee,
is
Merry
finally
Christmas.
here.
Olivia,
Shout for joy
Merry
and
Christmas.
sing with cheer. Sound of
Merry
laughter
Christmas, James.
in the air. Peace and love are everywhere.
Hey, Olivia. Grunge Truck, what's up? Merry Christmas to you. Hi, Anna. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Timmy.
Now there's a gift for you from me. It's wrapped in place
Nice.
underneath a tree.
Yep, that's what the family's doing right now, making sugar cookies and chocolate candies.
Give a smile and share a laugh. Remember how the year has passed and hold the moments that we have.
I just stay out of their way.
Christmas time is
Return the diamonds. Merry
here.
Christmas.
Shout for joy and sing with cheer. Sound of laughter.
Merry Christmas,
in
Tommy.
the air. Peace and love
Merry
are
Christmas, Bobby.
everywhere. Christmas time is finally here. Shout for joy and sing with cheer. Sound of laughter in the air. Peace and
Hey, Miss
love
Thang.
are everywhere.
Merry Christmas Eve.
Christmas time
Merry
is
Christmas,
finally
Sharon.
here. Shout for joy and sing with cheer. Sound of laughter in the air. Peace and love are everywhere.
Merry Christmas, Deb. Did I miss the Frank Meister? Is he in here? What is up, everybody? Merry Christmas Eve. Welcome to another live, a true crime live on the Sleuth Intuition channel. Looks like we got a full house. Good to see all you guys. Ooh, hey, TTM. Blessed and happy eating festivities about to begin. Oh, yeah. Do you guys open gifts on Christmas Eve or Christmas morning? Or a little of both? That was going to be my poll. Thanks, James. It's my favorite Christmas movie. That and Home Alone 1. Did you guys catch that? Any of that footage or any of the pictures of the storm out there in the Midwest? Um, I think Derek sent me this. It was an image. He was out. He's out and about. He's crazy. He's out in the weather. Check this out. This is what he sent me. I think the file was mislabeled. That was not Derek. Oh, that's funny. You guys keeping up with the news? Well, they've been talking about Mr. Anthony, or should I say Mr. Shots. They definitely can't bring him up without mentioning the Delphi case. So they are officially synonymous. Why is that? Was it just stigma? Right? That's what I'm saying, TTM. He posts these images. They're beautiful. But I mean, it's insane. It's almost like the end of the world. And he's like Will Smith out there, I Am Legend, walking in these ghost towns. Alternative media. Hold on one second, guys. Yes. Thank you, baby. Now the camera's off. Thank you. Love you.
Love you.
Ooh. Got me a little cocktail, apparently. Yep. Not too strong. Yeah, do you have chains or just really good tires? Because yeah, tires are everything in the snow. I learned that the hard way. You could have the nicest truck and the shittiest tires, and you'll still just spin and spin and spin in that snow. Hey, Grunge. Yeah, I hope you guys are staying safe out there. I couldn't even imagine that. Right, Deb? She's looking kind of scrumptious herself right now, too. Like a sugar cookie. Oh, yeah, she spoils me. Actual winter tires. The hell is a winter tire? Is that like an off-road tire? Extra tread? Yeah. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. So what do? Do you take them in or you just swap them out yourself? Is that something you guys do like annually? Thanks, Tattoo. Yeah, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. I think it has something to do with when you search a topic. And if you like this video a lot, it'll recommend this somewhere up in the first ones that appear. So I think that's cool. I could be wrong. I probably should pay a little more attention to all that stuff. I just know it's good. 50 degrees. Okay, so you're just waiting for the chill, which just happened, what, like 2 weeks ago? Take it in. Yeah, it seems like a pretty decent service to offer, you know, seems like from a business perspective, kind of like free tire rotations and things like that. Scrumptious like a sugar cookie. She really was. Yeah, F that. I'd rather walk. But you know, it was funny, Derek, I was talking about you earlier today, and I was like, man, this dude's crazy. He's out there in that crazy storm. Then I was like, but imagine, like, you really want some pizza. Like, he's kind of like your hero right then and there, you know, this nice, warm pizza. Merry Christmas, Cat. Good to see you. Somewhere in Canada called Mud and Snow Tires are ours on sick rims. Put on Thanksgiving. Nice. So you're well equipped and in style. There you go. Extra tread. Have to change tires twice a year. What's that? Biannually? Studded winter tires will get you far on winter roads. Okay. Studded tires. What is that, like more metal, little pegs inside the tread? That shit's illegal, Bogey. We ain't trying to catch a case, bro. All right. Well, I pulled 2 videos that I stumbled across where they mentioned Kegan Kline. And of course, it's Kegan Klein, and at the very beginning, like short introduction and a few words about his charges being amended. Then the rest is Delphi. So, I mean, is he connected to Delphi or isn't he? Or is there a stigma now? It's always going to be synonymous just because of that stigma that ties the two together, you know? Or is he connected? Or are these just questions from an impatient and obsessive personality? Maybe all of the above. Let's watch this one first.
And the Delphi murders appeared in court this morning.
The hearing should have been the last before the trial next summer. He's facing 25 child porn-related charges. ITMA's Richard Essex is following this case.
Kegan Kline appeared in a Miami County court via video from the Miami County jail. Kline didn't have much to say, but his lawyer certainly did.
Kegan Kline appeared on the video monitor inside of this courtroom. I was allowed to watch, but we were not allowed to record it. Kline was dressed in an orange and white striped jail shirt and wearing a mask. Several times during the hearing, he turned to his lawyer to whisper. He faces 25 child porn-related charges. The prosecutor's office used today's hearing to make technical changes to some of those counts.
When the charges against a defendant are changed, you want to make sure that the defendant has adequate time to be notified of it so he can change his trial strategy if necessary.
Kline is a central figure in the Delphi murder investigation. He has not been charged with any crimes connected to the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German in February 2017. Nor has he been publicly named as a suspect. Prosecutors have said that he used a fake social media profile to communicate with at least 15 underage girls, including Libby German. However, the changes to Kline's charges are generally regarded as procedural.
I think a lot of people understandably have tried to link dropped charges in Kegan Kline's case to the fact that Richard Allen was arrested recently, and we would just really advise people not to read too much into that.
Kline has denied having any direct knowledge of the murders of Abby and Libby. Earlier this year, Indiana State Police took Kline from the Miami County Jail for additional questioning, which led to a weeks-long search of the Wabash River in Peru. Indiana State Police have not said what, if anything, was found during that search. Neither the prosecutor nor Kline's attorney would comment on today's hearing.
Kegan Kline will remain a resident of the Miami County Jail until his trial, which is scheduled for early summer. In Miami County, Richard Essex, Wish TV, iTeam 8.
All right. I think I have another one here. And then I actually pulled his My Case and all the updates on there. We're going to talk about that. Hey, Rockaways, has murder sheets become irrelevant? I don't think so. Whenever I see them, I mean, just to see Greenlee, I mean, he's a character. And, he's an attorney. So he's like a character who knows what the fuck he's saying. So he's entertaining on like 2 levels. I swear the dude is made for Hollywood. He could play like, maybe like the bad guy in a movie, Because like he seems kind of like he's, I don't know if he's the fighter type, but he still has like the neck for it. You know what I mean? And who's the other one? Anya Kane. Yeah, she's good with the media. She's knowledgeable. So I mean, I guess when she speaks in regards to the Delphi case, I think yes. I think it's okay that I think they're good sources. All right. I just pulled the My Case from Keegan, and we're going to take a look at the updates, and we'll kind of talk about it for a while, and then we'll jump into the Idaho case. See what you guys have to say about that one. What's up, Grizz? He says he can play the Penguin if they made a new Batman movie. Nah, he's too tall. Richard Allen will be the Penguin. He might make a good Mr. Freeze. I'm telling you, he's got that neck too. Okay, so this is where all the changes took place. Pre-trial hearing conference, December 22nd. Memorandum brief filed. The order was granted. I think that was for the funding. Hearing and journal entry here. This just happened. This all happened just a few days ago. State of Indiana appears by Peter Dietrich. Defendant appears in custody with counsel Andrew Achi via Zoom video conferencing. Pretrial hearing held and hearing held on the state's motion to amend information filed on 11/2/22. So it looks like they amended some of the charges. Now, the original charges, of course, were 30, and they're still there on the My Case. So just type, use the link. You can find the link on one of my videos. I think it's Richard Allen's my case link or something. Click that same link, and then instead of Richard Allen's information, just type in Kegan Klein's name, and it'll keep you updated. Let's see. At the request of the defense, the court now sets this matter for further pretrial hearing on January 26th. So that's what we just heard in those media clips. And then if you see here, the pretrial set for January 26th, and then jury trial. See, I guess it's going to start May 10th. Francis is not saying he's linked to Allen. I think he is. I think more so his information that led to the search, and I think a stepping stool was found. The information they found was able to lift them up to, something greater. And I think it was a device. Because, think about all that heavy metal shit that they were finding. They were finding that stuff quick, crowbars, big pieces of metal. I even think they found a couple knives and shit out there. Who knows what else they found? They were finding all that stuff fast. 5 weeks they were searching. To me, something like a cell phone, it would take more time. Happy holidays, Grizz. Oh, did I say Iowa? Sorry. I meant Idaho. I was covering the Evansdale case the other day. All these crazy crimes that happened on the 13th. Man. Why? What is that all about? They actually have a name for that charge. They don't call it catfishing. I think it's like falsifying identification or something like that. Yeah, I like those videos, Matt. Matt says, have you watched videos of people magnet fishing? So many guns, knives, etc. are recovered from so many rivers. Yeah, that's the first thing they do after they use a weapon. They go and they toss it somewhere, Rain Dancer, welcome to members. Welcome to the Sleuth Crew. Samantha Mustard McDowell says, too many bizarre, unnecessary murders. It's nothing new, we got these psychopaths. Ted Bundy is one that really strikes me as like somebody hard to detect, that might be a little out there. But it's those guys that kind of scare me. It's those guys who make me think that they could frame other people, you know what I mean, if they really put their mind to it. Like, imagine how many people were framed. If a serial killer can plan and do all this weird ritual killings and signatures and leaving, doing all this weird stuff, why not bring somebody else's DNA? Why not why not set them up? Is that too much in hindsight? That 2020, is that just something that wouldn't even be thought of at the time? There maybe because of what's motivating them to commit a crime, their motivation is just more like maybe like more of an urge. like an uncontrollable urge or something along those lines. Thank you, Francis. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you guys. Be safe. There was some really bad accidents out where I was driving. Both accidents were fatal. They were both in the mainstream media news. I mean, it was just be careful out there. Hey, Lisa. Lisa says, how cold is it in Canada? All right. So that's pretty much all I had for Delphi. There's nothing in the news right now about Richard Allen. I did pull up his my case. There's no changes. They granted his motion, of course, for those funds. So they're most likely conducting their experiments and things like that. Once they have the discovery and they get everything that they request from the prosecution. Merry Christmas, Nakia. Yeah, stay home, eat licorice, all sorts of candy, drink eggnog, and sleep. It's way safer. Yep, we are going to get ready to talk about not Iowa, but Idaho. Iowa is Evansdale. I think it was known as the Cousins Murders. I think locally. Lyric and Elizabeth. Hey, what's up, CD? Merry Christmas. I hope you're doing well out there, man. I hope everything's good with you and the fam. Good to see you. Okay, so let's see what I wanted to get into. Where do I want to start? Okay, let's start with the new map I put together here. Why not? We're not going to have a rhyme or reason. I mean, we all pretty much know the basics and the overview and the facts of this case. There's not a whole lot of new information right now. So I'm going back to the original information that was put out, and we'll start there, and then we'll look at the updates and all that stuff. So while, we're going to let all those other people chase these crazy conspiracies, we'll try to keep our conspiracies focused and see if we can all get a consensus, within our little community. And if not, we can kind of move away from it. Because I think we got some pretty good heads together. Okay, so I put this together yesterday because I really wanted to go live. I just got too busy. But two of these events that you're seeing here, for instance, this one took place in September 12th of 2022. Moscow police received a report that a group of students were threatened by a person with a knife wearing all black and black baseball cap. He was on a mountain bike and had a blue backpack headed east. Do you guys know anything about this? Has there been any follow-up to this? Do you guys know? I have the report here, and we'll look at that. Okay. So it's titled From Vandal Alert, University of Idaho. Sent Monday, September 12th. Recipients redacted on the 15th. The subject, threat with a knife. Hey, there's Abby's grandma. How's your merch? She won some merch in a members meeting. I think it was a hoodie, right? A hoodie or yeah, it was a hoodie. Because Gene won the hat. New news to me about this guy in black. Yeah, this was some stuff that came out like the first few days. I'm sure CD knows what. Let's see what he's got to say. A big ash tree came down on the shed and house, removed it yesterday, waited insurance. Everyone was fine inside. Holy heck. Bro, that's messed up. I'm glad you guys are safe. Insurance better get moving on that shit. Damn. Yep, the hoodie. Yep. Yeah, that was a fun members meeting. That was a good one. Okay, let's read this here. On September 12th, 2022 at 8:05 p.m. So that's what we marked it. I should have marked the time as well. I don't think I put that on there. I'll update that. 8:05 p.m. The Moscow Police Department received a report that a group of students were walking between the steam plant parking lot and the Student Recreation Center on Paradise Path and were threatened by a person with a knife. So we'll come back to this and let's pull up the map. I think I pulled some of that here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, I got 3 different versions. Okay. So down at the bottom here, kind of towards the left, is the 1122 King Road. And if you just come directly up north, you'll see the recreational center. And then right here is the steam plant that they mention in the report. And there's a path. It's really a bike path, but apparently the kids were walking right here and were threatened by some guy on a bike. And then I pulled the bike paths as well, just so we can kind of get an idea. So it would have been right in this area here. So, I mean, truthfully, if this person's running around on a bike, he could come straight through here to the crime scene. That we know that this is all field, right? So he could come straight down this road, right through here, and right through this field. There's actually a path right here too. And he's right at the crime scene. So let me pull that other one back up. Oh, here's a better map. Here's a close-up. So this is the recreational center here. And they were walking this way. Paradise Path. So right in this general area, they were confronted by somebody and threatened, and the guy had a knife. Let me see if I have another version of this map. Okay, let's go back to the timeline, actually. Thank you, Francis. We got a super chat. What's the deal with the car getting ganked in Idaho? What do you mean? Oh, he has been arrested since. He turned himself in after that incident. He was charged with exhibition of... Oh, okay, bogey. He has been arrested. Are you referring to the guy with the knife that threatened these people, he turned himself in after that incident. He was charged with exhibition of a deadly weapon. Interesting. See, this is what I was hoping to accomplish here. Could have went on the running trails. Well, apparently this guy has been caught. So we're gonna drift our attention away from him for now. We're not gonna forget about him. Thank you, CD. Sleuth, yes, I can send you the article. I appreciate that. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to focus over here. Now look how far away this is. Now she publicly provided her name, first and last name, to Fox News. She wasn't concerned. Pamela Colbert's dog was skin head to toe or head to tail in this area. Now they just tried to kind of write it off as just local animals. And the truth is, out here it's a huge farmland. Like this whole area right here is just a big farm. And then over here, the houses are spread out, and it's more spread out here. So I can see how you would just simply say, yeah, it's an animal. But let me show you some local text messages from a neighbor. Thank you, Vanessa. Merry Christmas to you, Vanessa. Good to see you. Okay. So I'll read this post, and it was actually from October 22nd. It sounds like clickbait, but it's not. Last light after 2 a.m., our neighbor's sweet little dog was skinned like a deer. No animal did this. Our dog is bigger and was so anxious about the same time that he tore his bed up into 1,000 pieces. Also, our cat has been missing for the last couple of days. Not sure if it's tied to Halloween, and I don't really care. I'll be chambering all my firearms, and I would suggest everyone else in North Moscow do the same. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Merry Christmas. Francis says a college girl had her car broken into. The perpetrator took out her luggage, left it on the main road, and put her underwear in the car's cup holder. What the fuck? Mark Evans, hello. Does anyone still think that has any involvement? I do. I mean, I don't know if it has any involvement. I wouldn't go that far. But the thing is right now they're looking for all these college kids that might have done it, right? Crime of passion. But the only reason they think that is because they have all this information of all this movement, all this college movement. Well, what happens in a college town? A bunch of college kids move around. So all this movement and all these things that they have caught on camera, hey, can you help us with information on this? This just might be the movement around the time of the murders that has nothing to do with anything. And then you could have this really sophisticated killer just kind of like looking back like, man, I really can't wait another 14 months to go do this murder again. And then watch them kind of scramble like they did last time. Because if you look at the Jewetton case and the Ladd case, they seem very similar. In both separate cases, they're like, oh, it was targeted. And then you hear nothing a month later. Not a peep. They're not even talking about that case anymore. Same with the Jewetton case. Oh, it was targeted. Month later, nothing. Not a peep from law enforcement. So yeah, it looks targeted because maybe it's supposed to look targeted. Maybe that's like part of the staging, you know? His MO is part of the staging. That would be some extreme that would be very sophisticated, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm thinking to crunch data. I think they can't get through this information quick enough while the real clues are right there. And you could be right, Ryan. It's not a sophisticated killer. And whoever this person is, they're a person of interest. I mean, if it was this person, you think that they would already have him in custody, right? I mean, if it is this person, how hard would it be to tie them in? Khan, hello, says, I believe if it was a serial killer, the other two would be dead as well. I don't think so. Because the only reason I think it's a serial killer is because of the Sandra Ladd case and the Travis Jewett case, right? This is very similar to that case, and that's the bearing of the entire theory. So that means he would have started with Sandra Ladd. He would have moved on to Jewett and his wife at the time. I think Mary Lynn. Jamie Lynn, I'm sorry. Travis and Jamie Lynn Jewett. She survived barely. He saved her life. So he went for an easy target. Let's just entertain it if it is a serial killer. Okay. He went with Sandra Ladd. She was senior citizen. Easy target, right? He's like, okay, I got away with it. They thought it was targeted. No connection to me. 14 months later, commits the Travis and Jamie Lynn attacks, right? But receives resistance and isn't that very successful. One of the targets survives, right? So now, if he is a serial killer and we're moving in chronological order, and the Moscow murders are tied to this person, he must now do much better. He must. He went from 1 to 2. Now he needs a successful 4. Possibly. He could have killed more than one person, so the police couldn't figure out this motive. But if we are dealing with a serial killer, he's already done, from his perspective, he's already done much better in the perspective of his motivation. He had failures with the Jewett. One person survived. So now he must do much better than 2. 4. 4 was his number. If you subscribe to that theory, it's loosely connected to anything. There's no real solid information, and it really does look like a crime of passion, but I just want to make sure we're looking at every angle. Okay. CD says they might not have done anything DNA wise when they were found. One of the contacts talked about the dead coyotes that were left at frat and sorority houses as very odd, and they were scared. Yeah, it's odd behavior. Also, it made me think that it is getting cold, and if this person is homeless, let's say, or transient, maybe he's using the pelts for warmth. I know the dog was killed the same day of the coldest day of the year. I think it was October 21st, I think. But I did check. For Moscow, that was the coldest day. And then the very next day, the dog was skinned. So that's when it kind of got me thinking, like, okay, this guy's out there. He's got this freaking sharp ass knife. He's kind of out of his mind. Because where I'm from, There's been a few cases where these people they basically killed their whole families and they just went and hid out in the woods for years, forever. You know, these survival types, these bushcraft, outdoor, very knowledgeable outdoorsmen. They commit these crimes and then they're able to hide out in the woods and survive with really not much. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know any. I'm not a trained investigator, but if I was going to give any advice and anybody was actually going to listen, I would look for some type of shelter somewhere outside, just outside of town. Maybe a sophisticated shelter, maybe even like a dugout, you know, with a nice fireplace built, something along those lines. But what the hell do I know? Okay, let's keep taking a look here. What else did I pull here? Oh, this one's interesting.
Four University of Idaho students were found stabbed to death in a house just off campus in Moscow. Investigators are working through hundreds of interviews and thousands of tips they've received through email, telephone, and digital media. But as of today, the tragic case remains unsolved. But there is a new development in federal court related to some of the attention the story has drawn from around the country, especially from so-called internet sleuths. University of Idaho professor Rebecca Schofield is suing a Texas woman for defamation over TikTok videos in which she says Ashley Gillard accuses her of murdering Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonzalez on November 13th. She says she solves crimes online through psychic readings, and so far the videos have been viewed and shared multiple times. According to the lawsuit, Schofield wasn't even in Moscow at the time of the murders. The lawsuit also claims she asked Gilliard to take down the videos, but never did. Schofield is asking for a jury trial, saying the videos are false, have made her fear for her life, and have damaged her reputation. Moscow police have asked the public to stop contacting people who they think may be involved.
TikTok's running crazy. I just created a TikTok. But I don't really go on there much. So they must be going crazy on TikTok, huh? Yeah, that's smart, CD, for them to not have cameras on their campus. But if I'm not mistaken, I think I did see some there. I think they were lying. Yeah, so she got sued. Apparently, she accused some teacher there at the university of committing the murders through, I don't know, maybe a psychic reading or something. You're not allowed to have a TikTok on your phone. What the hell? Says who? Later, Derek. Be safe out there, man. Merry Christmas to you. To you and your family. Be careful. Seriously, man. Hey, bossy. Should be Sleuth Intuition. My Twitter's Sleuth Intuition. My Facebook is Sleuth Intuition. I think it's all my social media is just should be Sleuth Intuition. Analysis of a crime with CD says sleuth. They definitely could not be telling the truth. Oh, that lady is a banana head, accusing a professor that she pulled out of a hat. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. And the professor could provide proof that they weren't even there. Like, I can understand if you have a theory, but at least like track it down, right? Or try to. I'm getting a vision. I'm seeing visions of tamales in my future. It's a premonition. Let's see here. What else I got? Oh, this is from the Idaho Tribune. I thought this was interesting. All right. So the Idaho Tribune put this out on November 18th, just a few days after the crime. They went out there at 2:25 a.m. and just recorded people around the area. This is pretty creepy. Idaho Tribune. Just alive. Just a college town that's just alive. I mean, the law enforcement has their hands full. I mean, think of all the information just captured on body cam footage. I mean, it's going to take them like a month just to go over all that information, tie all that together, figure out who those people were that were walking behind them, while they were talking to those other guys. And what if it takes 5, 6, a year just to go through that information, and then they come to find out, like, okay, this wasn't targeted. All these people have been cleared. Now what? Thanks, D. I don't really spend time on anything else other than YouTube, really. I don't like to spread myself too thin. Oh, okay. Yeah, I pulled a couple articles. Oh, we didn't finish the police report, huh? Let's go back to that real quick. Oh, scatterbrain. This is the one that CD says the guy came forward. So if you guys see this, suspect has not been identified and still at large. So CD says this guy actually did come forward, and I'm going to follow up with an article on this that he just sent me, but I haven't had a chance to see it. So we'll close that one out of here. And this one was sent to me by a subscriber. Great article. Who's this out of? New York Post. 2 New York Post articles here. Hey, Christopher, good to see you. Del Taco has tamales now. Oh, hell yeah. Good for them. I don't know. If you don't look like an abuelita and you're not on a corner with a little sign and you're not my aunt or an uncle, or I didn't make it myself, I ain't fucking with them. I'm a tamale snob, I guess. All right, the article's titled "One Slain Idaho Student Fought Back Against Attacker, Dad Says." This is from Josh Fialo, published November 18th, 2022 at 11 a.m. That's Xana and Ethan pictured there. two of the victims. He writes here, the father of Xana Kernodle, one of the 4 University of Idaho students slain on Sunday, says he believes his daughter fought her attacker until the very end. Jeffrey Kernodle, the 20-year-old's dad, said an autopsy report revealed that Xana had defensive wounds, reported AZ Family. An autopsy report released to the public listed Xana's death as a homicide or murder by knife, but did not mention other wounds. The Latah County Coroner's Office told the spokesman review, however, that some of the students may have sustained defensive wounds. Details are slowly emerging into what happened early Sunday morning, but cops in Moscow, Idaho are yet to make an arrest, name a suspect, or find the knife used in the massacre. She's a tough kid. Jeffrey said of Xana. Whatever she wanted to do, she could do it. Rest in peace. That's sad. This is an article that came out pretty early on, of course. November 18th. They didn't have much information at that time, you know. So I don't know if that's since been updated, but I thought it was interesting. All right. Rain Dancer says, I believe that individual takes well care not to be in the media in front. Hi, Lisa. Yeah, it's extremely heartbreaking. I don't know. It's just something that the BTK killer, Dennis Rader, he would get upset, you know, that he wasn't being talked about, and he would become more extreme. And then he started reaching out to law enforcement. I just hope we're not dealing with something like that, where this person feels they have to do more and more and more. You know, like, look at me. Like, what do I got to do before you pay attention to me? So I'm hoping if there is something that's not like a crime of passion or somebody connected directly to these victims, I hope that they're considering, you know, other alternatives. Ooh, that sounds yummy. Cream cheese and jalapenos are my favorite. It's that Puerto Rican style. All right, the next one is from the New York Post. Cabbie, who drove slain Idaho students home, said they were excited to go home and eat pasta. And this was posted yesterday at 5:03 p.m. by Najana Farbarov. A taxi driver who took University of Idaho students Kaylee Goncalves and Madison Mogan home on the night of the grisly murder said the girls were super excited about going home to chow down on mac and cheese, as he opened up about how the unsolved slayings have weighed on him. Speaking to the Daily Mail this week on condition of anonymity, the cabbie said he was likely one of the last people to see Goncalves and Mogan, both 21, alive before they were slaughtered, along with the roommate Xana Kernodle and her boyfriend Ethan Chafin, both 20, on November 13th. It's weighed on me, the driver told the news site. I've replayed that night a million times over, trying to think if there was some sign or some detail that something was amiss, but there was nothing, he continued. Nearly 6 weeks after the 4 students were found stabbed to death inside the rental home they shared on King Road in Moscow, Idaho, police have yet to identify a suspect in the brutal slayings that rocked the college town. The Moscow Police Department has been facing growing pressure to make an arrest against the backdrop of intensifying public scrutiny and criticism from the victims' families, who've accused authorities of failing to share information with them. Hey, Jules. Good to see you. Don't worry about it, Jules. I had a tamale with hot Cheetos in it. It was surprisingly good. Yeah, I don't know what it is. If you put Cheetos on anything, it might be good. Pickled jalapenos. Yeah, I got a whole cupboard full from the garden. I keep them whole, though. My heart goes out with the family, but it also beats a lot for law enforcement. My heart goes with them, too. Yeah, this is tough. I mean, I don't care if these guys are rookies or whatever. I mean, they got their hands full. I mean, just seeing all that movement. I mean, it's crazy. That place is alive at 2 a.m. People walking around, driving, going from one party to the other, getting in fights, bar hopping. All right. Police investigators and amateur online sleuths alike have endlessly pored over the doomed students' final movements before the killings, with the surveillance video showing them waiting at the food truck, presenting a particular point of interest. The driver who took Goncalves and Mogan home said he picked them up between 1:40 and 1:45 a.m. from outside the Grub Truck food truck, where they bought pasta dinners. They had their food and they were super excited about their mac and cheese, as girls are after they go to the club, he recalled. The cabbie said the two friends sat in the back and chatted and never mentioned anyone named Adam, who was invoked in a surveillance video earlier in the night featuring one of the girls. They were normal, just like any other night. They weren't upset about anything or talking about anyone, the taxi driver noted. There was no nervousness about them. They weren't afraid of anybody. There was nobody following them or following us. The driver recalled that he let Goncalves and Mogan out of the car on the street outside of their home rather than in the driveway and left without waiting for them to enter the residence. The unnamed driver said when he learned the identities of the butchered college students, he went straight to police, handed over his digital data and timestamp receipt from the Taco Bell where he headed after dropping the students off at home. So that's a very key piece of information potentially. Reflecting on the multi-agency investigation, which so far has very little to show for it, the driver said that many people in Moscow community have lost faith in police and feel like they are not doing enough to catch the killer. Those kids deserve justice. They're not getting it, he said. Local cops who are being assisted by dozens of FBI agents and Idaho state troopers said they are working through nearly 12,000 tips and are also still looking for the white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra that was seen near the crime scene. So that's an interesting piece of information there. So, I mean, they weren't frantically calling, the boyfriend at that time. So, hold on. I think I have another timeline here. Okay. Hey, Chopper. Merry Christmas. Good. Enjoy your time with them. Good to see you. All right. So let's take a look at this timeline I put together here. So if you notice up at the top right, 1:40 a.m., Kaylee and Maddie are at the food truck. And then they get dropped off by this taxi driver at about 1:56, right? So somewhere between, I would say 1:56 and 3 a.m., something happened. So between 2 and 3, something changed. I don't know what that is. I don't know if they had a creepy encounter. Did they kick somebody out of their room? What happened? And apparently the Elantra was spotted at 3:45 a.m. rushing towards them. or in their direction, so to speak. So this was an image of their backyard. So I mean, definitely a very active college little house. Um, when I was in my early 20s, like 20, 21, I had a couple of buddies. They were like frat kids, and they had a house like this, right in the smack dab Tempe, Arizona. And then we would leave piles like that in I don't know, in one night, less than one night, maybe. So I mean, there's nothing strange there. At least not for me. There's happening a lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't. What is law enforcement supposed to think? What is anybody supposed to think? I mean, this is insane. 4 young people murdered in the middle of the night, and there's seems like they are not even on to the suspect. Oh, and I wanted to ask you guys a question about this. Did they ever figure out what the hell was going on with this image? I mean, was the crime scene really that bad where it's seeping through the walls? Or is that just something else? I mean, it looks like blood to me. Thank you, Chopper. Heating oil? Yeah, I just don't see how the blood's going to come from inside and seep down the wall. I mean, I just don't see that. Think about what, Rain Dancer, about the case in general. Right now, I feel like they're just overwhelmed with information. They don't really have a clear idea of who the suspect is. I think they have their hands full. I think it's going to take some time before a profile begins to develop. Like, I mean, just go back to the body cam footage. I mean, you have 2 separate people crossing that field. You can see people in the distance. You have cars moving around, and this is 3 a.m. I mean, you don't have activity like this in most towns in the middle of the day. Now we're talking 3 a.m. in the middle of the night. This place is alive. So all of that movement is normal. So you take the murders out of the scenario, and all that movement is typical. Okay. To me, that seems like a lot of information to go over. You know, think about all the camera footage they received. There's going to be so many people walking by. They got to go talk to those people now. They got to figure out who they are. Yeah, I think it's going to be some time. And I just fear that once they go through all this information, they're going to say, "Hey, look, these people have been cleared. We don't have any connection." And just like the Jewetton case and just like the Sandra Ladd case, they're, after months pass by, they don't mention it being targeted. Matter of fact, they're slowly just forgetting about the case in general. Because, I mean, what happens if all the information just turns up nothing? Points to nobody. And then what? Are they even going to mention the idea or entertain the idea of a serial killer? I don't know. They don't get the option to do that. If they don't have like specific piece of information that says these are connected, yeah, they might be similar, but if they don't have like a direct connection, like let's say a DNA match on all three, or maybe some type of fibers or hairs are matching. So yeah, I'm sure they're speculating up the wazoo behind the scenes, but they can't come out in the public and talk about it the way we do. So it's important that I think that we do continue to have these conversations. All right, guys. If you have any questions, we're probably going to hang out for another 5-10 minutes. We're going to start wrapping it up. Those are the pieces of information I just wanted to get out to you and hang out. Little Christmas Eve discussion. Anybody who had some downtime like I had, yes, please consider becoming a member of my channel. We do stay active in the members only portion. Subscribe, hit the like button. The like button is probably the best way you can support my channel. Yeah, it does a lot of good things for it. I would appreciate that. D says the keypad lock was only on the front door. And some pics of the girls. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it was 3 a.m. Maybe she was known for like a drunk call or something. Some people are that way. It's harmless, really. Yeah, it's a good theory. Merry Christmas, Indy. Okay, so why not climb this little ladder up here to this little ledge and sneak in these front windows? Is that stupid? You know, that seems like the first place you would check. Okay, the door's unlocked. The door's locked. Oh, there's a ladder. Let me check these windows up here. Right here. I mean, you can easily just walk up, jump onto this little ledge. Probably not this window. It'd be kind of risky unless it was already opened. This would be the second floor, right? Let's go right up there. I don't know if that's footprints or what. It doesn't look like footprints. Merry Christmas, Kelly. Probably not, Bossy. We're going to be really busy. Probably won't see me again until the 29th for the little spooky live stream. Do we know where they entered? 100%. Do we know? See, because even if you walked through here, this path, like first thing you see is that ladder. Maybe you left the window open for yourself, you know, at an earlier time. But to me, this would be, if we're dealing with a sophisticated killer, I think this is where he would come in. Nobody could watch him. He could just kind of shimmy up these trees, swing over here, step over this balcony, and then kind of peep in these windows here. Hey, Charlie Murphy. Merry Christmas. Francis says he was already in the house. Yeah, he very well could have been. They got home at like 2. Xana and Ethan, when they get home, I think around that same time, like 1:45, right? So if somebody was in there at like 1:30-ish and heard them come home and just hid, maybe hid under the bed. I don't know. The Inquisitor has been putting out these really scary videos lately. He put one out, I think it was the Gainesville Killer. And if you guys remember the Scream movies, those teenagers, they were really into horror movies. And they basically were inspired by the Scream movies and went and killed like one of their friends. It was kind of like a mean teen situation. But I guess they were talking about the Gainesville Killer, and because he was inspired. No, the movie Scream was inspired by him, and then others were inspired by the Scream movie. And they did a whole screening of that, I guess, on the 12th that night. Yeah, that video fucking gave me chills. His shit just keeps getting creepier. So yeah, you could stand on the corner of the street and you can see their home. Maybe even see them moving around. Maybe watching from these apartments. And also there's I don't know if you guys see this area back here. It's kind of like a wooded area. This is like a huge area that you can walk through. And that footage of them on September, where it was like a noise complaint, they all took off back here through these woods. You can walk that way to the right. Hey, Sensei, what's up? Thank you, Rain Dancer. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. I appreciate that. All right, so this was sent to me by a subscriber, and there's a parking area just behind the home. She labeled it as a possible perk parking, and I tend to agree with her. You could even watch maybe through here. You could easily park here, sneak up those trees we were talking about, and spy through those side windows, and nobody would be the wiser. Look, it's all like covered with trees in that area. But this is the area where I was referring to. You could walk through here. And these are all party houses right here. This one, that one. So this whole little block right here is a party block. This was a TikTok video that was sent to me by Tom. We took some screenshots. But if you notice across the street, they have a party, and in the background is the victim's home. But look, both houses are having a get together. But pay close attention over here in this area. Back here. So you can just walk back there. Whether you live over here in these apartments or in these houses. Go behind this fence here. All right, guys, we're going to start closing her down. I just want to thank everybody for spending an hour and a half of your Christmas Eve here with the Sleuth Intuition channel. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a very safe Merry Christmas. And we will meet again very soon.
I realize it's Christmas time when all the lights are coming on at night. A scarf for everywhere we go. We're leaving footprints in the snow. Drive beside the fire's glow, awaiting Santa's ho ho ho. Christmas time is finally here. Shout for joy and sing with cheer. Sound of laughter in the air. Peace and love are everywhere.
Thank you, Kelly. You too. Merry Christmas, James. You too, Timmy. Take care. Merry Christmas, Sensei. Dee's about to go ham. Literally.
Now there's a gift for you from me. It's wrapped and placed well underneath a tree. I'll hold you close and take your hand. Give a smile and share a laugh. Remember how the year has passed and hold the moments that we have. Christmas time is finally here. Shout for joy and sing with cheer. Sound of laughter in the air. Peace and love are everywhere.
Don't forget, we're going to be doing a little ghost hunt. Jerome, Arizona on December 29th.
Finally here. Shout for joy and sing with cheer. Sound of laughter in the air. Peace and love are everywhere.
Thank you, Francis.
Christmas time
God bless you as well. Thank you very much. The artist who sings this song is in the description. This is a free-to-use track, one of my favorites. It's by Will Heikoop, and it's called Christmas Time. Yeah, James, we ain't gonna. There's not. If we see something, it's gonna be real. So we're not expecting to see anything. It's just something fun that I'm doing and chose to share with you guys. Rum ham. You guys like Always Sunny? Merry Christmas, everybody. I'll see you soon.